Family, what is going on? Thank you once again for hopping in and hanging with your boy. As I always say, I thoroughly appreciate it because y'all can be kicking it with anybody. But just for the fact that you listen to this or watching this means a lot to me. So do me a favor, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to this channel. Really helps me with the algorithm, and I'm really trying to push out more YouTube content. And leave a comment. I love the comments. I really appreciate it. I want to hop right into today's thought, today's meditation, if you will, because there's been so much conversation around Kendrick Lamar and Drake. One of my favorite things in the whole wide world, because I really love hip hop and I love beef. I probably shouldn't say that, but I do. I like to see people kind of go at one another. Now, I don't like it when it turns violent, but I definitely do enjoy the skill of rap when people are skillfully rapping, right? And so we've been watching these past couple of weeks, right? The back and forth between both Kendrick and Drake. And I think the question that all of us have to ask or have been asking is, who won? Was it Drake or was it Kendrick? Was it Drake? Was it Kendrick? And, I think from a numbers perspective, a lot of people are saying that Kendrick won. However, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. I said, man, one of the narratives around this Kendrick and Drake beef is the fact that Drake possibly planted a mold that fed false information to Kendrick that he made songs about. So he's making songs about false information. And essentially, if that is true, then that means a lot of what he's saying is a lie. So how can you win if you're lying? And I thought about that just when I was kind of thinking through this, which is the reality is I've always told people that the worst person that you can ever lie to is yourself. Right? But it's weird because in this world that we live in, lies are perpetuated everywhere. From our former past president who always talked about fake news, even, whenever things weren't going his way. But it's the world perpetuates lies at an almost alarming rate. So much so, also, I would even make the argument that sometimes people are willing to listen to lies if they're more entertaining than the truth. With that in mind, there's a book here that I have called Peculiar Treasures by Frederick Buechner. When I was in seminary, my professor, Hewlett Glower, would always, every time, before every class, he would have us read something from Buechner. And so Buechner is a trusted voice for me personally ever since seminary. I want to read what Buechner talks about Ananias. He writes, it wasn't because Ananias held back from the poor box some of the proceeds of his real estate deal that St. Peter came down on him so hard. The poor would get by somehow. They always had. What got the old saint's goat was that Ananias let on he was handing over his whole pile instead of only as much as he thought he wouldn't be needing himself. Peter said to him, you have not lied to men, but to God. Now this happens in Acts chapter 5. And the undeniable truth of the charge, together with the unbearable shame of it, were more than Ananias could take, so he dropped dead. His wife Sapphira had been in on the real estate deal with him, and when she turned up 3 hours later and found out what had happened, she dropped dead too. Listen to what Buechner says. He says, lying to God is like sawing the branch you're sitting on. The better you do it, the harder you fall. Lying to God is like sawing the branch you're sitting on. The better you do it, the harder you fall. In an age that loves lies, in an age that likes to perpetuate lies, and even as I said falsely, that, hey, the worst person you can lie to is yourself. Truthfully, the worst person that you can lie to is God. We have to be careful that we operate in truth. We live lives of truth. And essentially, I believe that's how we please God. And so, I don't know. I wanted to share that with you all today because I read it and it was helpful to me. Lying to God is like sawing the branch you're sitting on. The better you do it, the harder you fall. I pray you don't fall today or ever. Live in purpose, on purpose. See y'all next time.